Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Wednesday edition of Running Point. I am not your host, Anthony Hartwig. I'm Gary Althiser. I'm filling in for Anthony today. The show is presented by Greenwood Chevrolet, as always. Today is a special day because I'm joined by YSN's wrestling guru, Chris Colucci, and as always, Scotty Mincher's on here with us. And it is Wrestling Wednesday, so we're going to spend most of the show today talking about wrestling. And we are joined today by two female wrestlers from East Palestine, Addison Paparella and Zoey Beamer. They are both regional qualifiers for the Bulldogs. They decided to come on with us today. We're going to talk to them. Hey, girls, thanks for joining us.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so I'll start things off here. You both qualified. Addison, you got third. Zoey, you finished fourth. How does it feel to place and head on to the next phase here before you head to the state tournament?
It feels pretty good. I feel pretty accomplished, and I don't know. It feels like all the hard work paid off throughout the whole season.
Yeah. I think it feels good, but I'm also nervous because I don't know what I'm going up against. But
Okay, Chris, got a question for the ladies?
Yeah, so last year, girls wrestling just got sanctioned. How does it feel finally that, all these years of, will it be sanctioned, will it not? It finally happened. How does that feel for you guys to be part of a girls team that just got sanctioned in the state of Ohio?
I think it feels pretty cool. I feel like it's good to get more girls into the sport and get it out there and show everyone what we can do.
yeah, I think it's a matter of how many girls we can get out because girls don't are scared, I feel to do the sport, but I think if more girls join, then we're all going to come together and be a big group.
Okay, so you two are setting the pace there in East Palestine. Coach Hostetter, he's done a great job of really building things there in East Palestine. He's stuck with the program. He's been like a staple. Do you guys notice that now that you two are having success and your team of girls are having success, are you having more girls come up to you, ask about the sport, talk about the sport, and say that they're going to come out next year?
Yeah, there's definitely more girls that have been talking about joining next year, which is really cool because it's good to grow the program and get more girls into it, and I don't know, just hopefully get more district qualifiers.
Yeah, I think it's good that we set an example for the girls to see.
Okay, so I ask this every week. Every good wrestler has a good drilling partner. Do you two drill with each other, or do you have other people you go to get better at practice?
We drill with each other mostly at practice, but there's also my sister who's on the team. We drill with her, and we recently started going to Poland to drill with other girls to get a feel for what it's like wrestling with other girls. We also do wrestle with the boys, so we do drill with them, which I think helps us become better wrestlers.
Yeah, I like wrestling with the guys because it shows that we can beat anyone if we put our minds to it. We can't just beat girls. We can beat anyone.
Go for it, Chris.
This is my favorite time of the year when South Range, we would go to Fitch or we'd go to Beaver Local wrestling with other teams. You guys talked about going to Poland. What's that like going to other schools and experiencing different wrestlers, getting different looks? And Poland and East Palestine are in different divisions. You're not going to see each other, which is so cool. And, you get different looks and good competition. What is it like going to Poland and wrestling with those type of wrestlers?
I think it's pretty cool because you get to see the different sides of wrestling, and you get to see how other schools are teaching their kids to wrestle, and it's you may know a move, but you get more technique and more ways to do the move, which definitely helps during matches.
Yeah, I agree because it also shows us other different ways that our coaches their coach is teaching us and our coach is teaching us, so we can just put it together and use it.
Okay, how long have you guys been wrestling? That's one question I have for you.
This is my second year wrestling. I was actually the first girl wrestler at East Palestine last year. This is my second year.
And this is my first year.
Okay, great. So you guys have now experienced what it's like to make weight and get on the scale in the morning. And anybody that's ever wrestled knows that that's a little bit stressful, but a big relief after you've made weight. I ask this every week. What is your favorite post-weigh-in meal? We've heard about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We've heard about pickles. What do you guys go to after you make weight to get ready for the day?
After I make weight, I like to eat Twinkies and pomegranate seeds.
Wow. Okay.
I would say I have my mom and dad bring me Dunkin'. I just eat a lot of food.
Those are some unique and pomegranate seeds and Twinkies. Did Chris Colucci eat that after weigh-ins, Chris?
No, because it'd be coming up on a mat. It would be regurgitated on a mat. So I got a question. You guys had a pretty good season as going into the postseason. What are some of your like staple wins of the season? The wins that you love the most, the wins that you talk about a lot.
Mine, for me, it's probably like my most recent wins, like for pre-regionals, because those made me feel the most accomplished, and that's what we've been working towards all season. And my most recent wins were the ones that got me qualified for regionals, and they were just exciting to have.
I would say any of my matches that have like been longer, because it shows me that I have to push myself to accomplish what like I get, and I got the districts, well, regionals. So
yeah, that's a good point. When you say any match that's once longer, you're talking maybe all three periods.
Yeah.
So as a first-year wrestler, I'm sure that you know the exhaustion you feel going all three periods hard for 6 straight minutes is probably something you never experienced before. What did you guys notice about wrestling, the sport in general? What was it that was maybe the most surprising or shocking to you? Or what was it that you've done in wrestling that maybe you think, man, nobody realizes this about the sport?
I'd say like all the conditioning that goes into it, because that's what prepares you to go all three periods, even into overtime. And when you think you can't do it and you just keep pushing through and you do end up winning that match, it's like a good feeling.
I would say like doing the moves, because like you have to know the basics to like, I don't know how to put it, but like you have to like know the basics to like achieve your goals.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead, Chris.
Now, are you guys are both freshmen, right?
I'm a junior.
You're a junior? Okay, so plans after high school, would you guys want to wrestle at the next level? What do you guys want to do after high school, I guess? I mean, I know freshman you got a little bit away, but junior, it'll be right around the corner, I promise you. It comes by quick. So what are your guys' thoughts after high school?
I definitely want to continue my wrestling career. I want to put in the work over the summer and get better at what I'm doing and just continue it.
Yeah, I would say like keep going to the Poland place that we're going to, and like go to camps over the summer and just like work harder. And then when I'm like a senior, then maybe I'll like go to states.
Okay, so as wrestlers, you know that going into the postseason, that's where really everything matters the most, and you have to be able to get yourself mentally prepared to get on the mat. What is it that you guys do to get mentally prepared to wrestle? We have heard some people like to listen to music, some people like to walk, some people like to lay down and take a nap and just get up right when their name gets called. What is it that you guys do to get ready to go out and compete?
For me, I like to put in my AirPods, listen to my music, get up and start walking around. I really just pace and get myself warm and clear my head and listen to my music.
Yeah, I like just like lay down and relax my body until it's like 5 minutes until I have to go up, and then I just prepare myself for what's gonna happen.
Okay. Scotty, we want to let you chime in. Do you have any questions or anything you'd like to ask the ladies?
Yeah, sure. I was just wondering for you guys, Addison and Zoey. What's one thing that you've learned in your time wrestling, a thing that has made you better, and then what's something like as far as adversity goes or adversity you faced that was maybe um, tough at the time, but then also kind of made you better in the long run? Is there any moments that kind of stick out?
Yeah, I feel like all the conditioning at practice, like it may feel hard at the time, but it definitely is worth it in the end. And that's what helps me to win my matches. If I wasn't so conditioned and Coach Rick didn't push me to be that way, then I definitely would not be winning all the matches that I am.
I would say you have to have a good mindset, and even if you don't want to do something, just put yourself to do it, because you're not going to get better if you like do what you know. You have to do what you don't want to do to get better. And like if you don't have a good mindset, like I didn't have a good mindset in the beginning of the season, I would just say that I'm going to lose, but as time went on and you like build your mind, you like get better.
That's a great way to put it. That kind of encapsulates the sport, Zoe. When you have to do things you don't want to do to get better. That is wrestling in a nutshell, and you'll see that'll carry you not just in the sport but in life as well. So before we wrap things up with you guys, we always like to give time for you guys to thank anyone that's helped you along the way, or talk about anyone in your inner circle who's been there for you and has really helped make your journey a good one.
I really want to thank my coach Rick, because he pushes me through everything, and my mom for supporting me, for allowing me to do this sport and encouraging me even when I don't think I do good. She's always telling me something good that I did about my match. And yeah, just my coach and my mom.
I would say probably Coach Rick, because he's amazing and he's pushed me through all the pain, and my mom and dad and my nana, because they're like always there to just support and get me food after. And probably like my boyfriend, because he's been doing wrestling for a while and he tells me when I'm doing wrong, and like I feel like he gives all of us like good tips.
Yeah, Coach Rick is a great guy. He's done a great job. And so have you guys. So we'll be rooting for you here at YSN. Addison, Paparella, and Zoe Beamer for the East Palestine Bulldogs headed to regionals this weekend. Good luck, ladies. Go out, give it your all. Well, as we know, this sport is growing, and the main reason the sport is growing is because of girls wrestling. Chris, you've been around the sport your whole life. I don't know about you, but I get excited when I hear about the girls' numbers increasing. I get excited when I see more and more teams popping up, because it's just more exposure for the sport. And as somebody who loves the sport, I know that you probably feel the same way. What are your thoughts about girls wrestling in general?
I love it. I love it so much. Before it was sanctioned, it was a state tournament. It was at some high school. Now it's at the Schotstein Center. It's at the Shot, where everyone, any wrestler, you say the Shot, they know exactly where you're going. It's awesome that they're expanding. It's getting bigger. I love it. I just want to see the sport of wrestling grow. That's my main thing. That's why I do what I do with YSN and wrestling, and to see that more girls want to do it, like those Addison and Zoe. Seeing girls from their own school come out and doing it, they're so excited and they want to go out and do it for themselves. So I'm so excited about that, and I love to see the sport grow.
Scotty, you've been on this Wrestling Wednesday here. You've seen both boys and girls come on. Do you, as an outsider to the sport, you're learning about the sport still, do you see any difference between when we interview the two, or what is it that you notice most? Maybe contrast, or maybe even the same?
I'd say like at least, and I could be totally wrong here, but I kind of get the vibe, the feeling from our interviews and girls compared to the guys. I think the girls are maybe they come off as a little more reserved and still confident in these interviews were the guys, especially somebody like Marky Stancorp, who was in the comments today. He's one of those guys. I love him because he just, like, there's confidence just oozing out of him, and a lot of charisma and personality. And not saying the girls don't have that, but I just pick up kind of like a quieter confidence, I guess.
Yeah, I think you're right. I agree with you, and part of that I think is because these girls are laying a foundation for the sport, and they I don't even think they know it, but they are laying a foundation for girls wrestling that in the future this generation of girls will be looked at as the first ones, the pioneers, the ones that really stepped out and made it happen. And I think that they're doing a great job. I was just thinking about this as sectionals over the weekend that, it's taking off in such a way that, I'm thinking, why is this catching fire so fast? Why is it doing so well? It might be just curiosity, might be one of the things. There aren't many female contact sports. And if they are, usually they have to go up against guys. To be able to do that just against the girls, I think that's the most appealing part. It's nice to see. There's always been girls who have wrestled, but they've always had to do it with the guys. So to see them be able to do it with just the girls, it's been great. And I think that's going to just continue to grow and spawn. And, they are growing. There's more and more every year. I just saw a stat from the first year that there was a girls wrestling tournament up and through this season, all the way back in 2020, before it was sanctioned. It's grown something crazy like 1,100%. So I think that we're just going to continue to see this, and you're probably going to see more personality, girls coming out of their shell more, Scotty, like you do with the guys. The more confident that they get in themselves and the more time that they spend on the mat. So we transition away from that. This weekend, Chris, you were at sectional tournament. I was at a sectional tournament. The postseason has officially started. We are right here in the middle of districts week, where teams are practicing with each other. It's sanctioned. The state allows teams to practice with each other during district and state week. You can get better looks from other people in other schools, where you can't do that during the regular season unless you're scrimmaging. Chris, you were at a sectional with the South Range Raiders. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that sectional, what you saw, where you were, who won it, and what stuck out to you?
Well, the Perry Pirates are a force to be reckoned with. I'm pretty sure there's 14 weight classes. I'm pretty sure they won 9. At least it had to be at least 9 out of the 14 weight classes. They won it very handily. But as a South Range outlook, we got 6 guys out, 1 champion, 1 runner-up, 2 thirds, and 2 fourths, and 2 alternates. One of those alternates being a Springfield wrestler. Springfield doesn't have wrestling, but you can wrestle with the closest school district with wrestling, and we are very close to Springfield as we are rivals. But we did pretty good as a team. I think we could have gotten 6 to 8 guys out, got 6 out. Did very well. A lot of good wrestling at Berkshire. Beautiful school. Played a football game there actually a few years ago, but brand new school. A lot of good wrestling. Perry dominant. About it. A lot of good wrestling. Liberty. They had a champion. Yeah, I'm excited to see what districts come with. It's going to be crazy. It's the best time of the year. I'm so excited.
Yeah, Perry ended up winning won the sectional pretty comfortably. The results I have here, they had 316.5 points. Second was Garrettsville Garfield, 161. Fairless, 152. South Range, 151.5. Southeast at 140.5. Liberty was 7th. Grand Valley 10th. Pie Valley 11th. Brookfield 12th. And New Middletown Springfield was 15th. So looked like there was a lot of good wrestling there. We know from covering the Raiders during football season that Perry, athletics, as a whole is a great team. A great athletic department. They won the state championship in Division 5. They took out the Raiders there, and I think they're in the regionals.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no surprise to us to see how well they've done. I was at Rootstown. for the sectional there. And as no surprise, the Rootstown Rovers were the champions there. They had they won by over 100 points. They had 257 points. Southern Local coming second at 150. United was fifth at 122. Jackson Milton seventh. And on from there, I think Berlin Center Western Reserve was 10th. It was basically business as usual for everyone there. Southern Local had 6 qualifiers. Hirschberger had 106. Logan Castell 132 for United, as well as obviously Dallas McCracken won there. Gabe Bissenblock and Johnny Bailey, both from Southern, won 175 and 190. So there really wasn't any surprises as far as what I saw. All I know is that this week is when everything starts to really get serious, and then you're going to see people wrestling their hearts out. Chris, what is it you see at district? What is it that you like about the district tournament in itself? Because in my opinion, the district tournament, you kind of see a big contrast. Either guys going out there and rather die than lose. But sometimes, if I'm being completely honest, you'll see guys out there who are kind of checked out mentally for the season.
You'll have those high-seeded kids, high-ranked kids you see on Borough Fan, and kids will get psyched out. There's no easy way to get to state. It's grueling. It's a dogfight. It's real war. And then there's those wild cards. I like to use myself as an example. I don't like to talk about myself, but last year I was supposed to get beat in the semifinals by the number, I think, 2 ranked kid. I beat him, and then I went on to the final. I was supposed to lose that match. I won districts. There's those wild cards that go in there and, mess everything up. People don't know nothing about. It's an exciting time of the year, and then there are some of those kids that, they don't want to cut the weight anymore. They don't want to be doing. Then you find the gritty kids, the kids that dig down deep and, get through it all and figure it out and get down to state. And then state is all, it's draw. It's everything. Anything can happen because those are the best 16 guys in the state of Ohio. So I was talking today to a former wrestling coach. You're one move away from, getting in the state finals, getting in that match in the blood round and X, Y, and Z. Districts is a fun time. This is the best time of the year if you're a wrestling fan. Then right after the state tournament, we have the NCAA finals. So I can't wait. This is the best time of the year for a wrestling fan.
I agree. I'm with you. I always get excited about that NCAA tournament. It's such a fun tournament. If you're a wrestling junkie like me, you've got your computer pulled up with several screens and you got different mats on each screen. It's a fun time, but that will be in a couple weeks from now. We're still focusing on districts. And like you said, some kids, the nerves get to them, and you get to the district tournament, you're one step away. And really, when you get to the districts, you win your first 3 matches, you're a state qualifier. So you are 3 matches away from getting your goal to head to Columbus. And to be a state champ, you have to get there first. So that's the first step to that. And you'll see guys, like you said, wild cards who come out of nowhere who just happen to peak at the right time. A coach can only do so much to help you peak at the right time. You have to be doing things yourself. And sometimes everything just clicks at the right time, and you'll see people come out of nowhere. And then you'll also see guys who, maybe they wrestled all year. Maybe they've been cutting weight all year. Maybe they haven't been good with their weight, not watching their weight, not doing a good job of that, not getting enough rest, pushing themselves maybe too hard, or they're fighting through injuries, and they get to the district tournament. Sometimes they just are mentally checked out. And unfortunately, we see that every year with guys who are ranked highly. Yep. I've seen guys ranked in the top 3 who go 0-2 at districts. And a lot of times that's a mental thing. Go ahead.
I remember a few years ago, Seth Shoemate. Everyone knows that name. D1 wrestler. He was going to be a 4-time state champ. Due to COVID, he only won 3 times. But at districts, he got upset in the semis, and he took 3rd. And then he went on to win state. So crazy stuff happens at state. It's just your draw and how everything works. And a kid could get upset and then win it, at state. I love it. I can't wait. Going to be a fun time. I know we're going to have some guys down there for state taking pictures, reporting. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
I got a question for you, Chris, if that's okay, Gary.
Oh yeah.
Sure, go for it.
So I was just wondering, you have such a passion for wrestling and talking about your career and even tying into a little bit what you said last year. Like, if I had to guess, I'd bet you say you wish you were like appreciated a little bit more before this time, but at the same time, did it also help when like no one was really expecting anything for you, or they weren't expecting much, they weren't expecting you to win? Did that kind of just take all the pressure off and let you be loose, or at a certain point do you always kind of feel like that pressure and that anxiety?
Before any of those big matches, I'm gonna be nervous. I'm always tense and nervous what's gonna happen. But I kind of enjoyed the underdog story. No one really knew about me. There on the state final, or not in the state semi match, there was over the Flow Wrestling. There was some guys were talking about, who's this Chris Colucci kid? He's only lost one match of the year. No one's ever heard of me. I like that, because then people think, okay, I got like an easier match. But then I turned it up and you really didn't know what was coming out. And it was fun being the underdog, having that underdog story, no one really knowing about you. I always go back to my finals match at districts. I'm getting pumped up and ready. And I kind of took it as a little disrespect that my opponent was sitting down, not really worrying about me. He had his bag on. It's kind of a little disrespectful to me that I took, and that fired me up. And I got my rear in shape, and I went after it, and I won it, and it was fun. I like the recognition that I got. I was ranked top 10 all year, but I was supposed to get up a beat in both those matches, and I upset both of them. So yes and no to your answer, Scotty.
And then Gary, like going back to your career before, taking over as a coach, did you always kind of like, from when you were really young, did you kind of have like some confidence and swag, or did you kind of like think people viewed you as an underdog, and did you kind of embrace that underdog role as well, or was it one of those things where you're like, yeah, I know I'm good at this?
No, never in my life. Unfortunately, I wish I would have been more like that. I think that's something that you have to. It's either something you're born with or you're not. And for me, I was not born that way. I never have been, and I wish I had a little bit more confidence growing up, not just in wrestling but in life as well. And I think it's a balance, though. To be confident but not cocky, and confident but not overconfident. You have to believe in yourself and know that you can do it, but you have to know in this sport. I'll always draw this comparison. Anybody in boxing can get punched in the mouth and knocked out. And in wrestling, anybody can get thrown to their back. And it doesn't matter who you are. If you're not ready for somebody, you can get taken out. So I wish that I had more confidence when I was younger than I did. And I really think that if you can find the right balance as a kid, or you as a coach can bring that right balance out of someone, they can really live up to their potential. But that is a very, very hard thing to do, because everybody's different. Every individual is different. Everybody gets motivated by different things. Everybody gets deflated by different things. Everybody responds to different things. That's, there's an old saying that says you can't coach heart. And that part of having heart is believing in yourself that you can do that. So finding and tapping into that isn't an easy thing, but I think it plays a major role. And you see, most of the time, the best guys are exactly that. At the college level, at the high school level, they are confident in themselves, but they are not cocky, because they know they can be taken out. A lot of times they go out, they work as hard as they can, and when they come off the mat, they're thankful. And I think Chris could probably agree with me in that aspect.
100%. You don't want to be that jerk, because you don't want to be the kid that when you win, people boo you, and when you lose, people cheer. You don't want to be that kid. You want to be humble. You want to be respectful. But being confident is a totally different thing. And that's one thing I was always confident. I try not to be cocky. But sometimes when, emotions are high and you win, you celebrate. I don't think that's being cocky. That's just, all your hard work going into it and paying off, and you celebrate. Like I remember after we won state my junior year, I launched my headgear up into the stands. I think it cost us a team point, but like that was just I was so excited, and that's just what I did. And all your hard work pays off, and you got to celebrate, and which was awesome.